The following podcast may be explicit. One Joe Young presents Adventures from the Shed, a tabletop RPG podcast. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com. Join Mickie, JJ, Kurt, Brit, Joe, and special guest Chris at our RPG gaming table as we continue our Dungeon World campaign set in the world of Alamand. We learn a little more of Aleyna's past while moving forward. Enjoy the podcast.
Hi, and welcome back to Adventures from the Shed. We have a special recording today coming from the garage.
With super special guest star,
Chris W. is joining us today. I am Joe. I don't know why I'm saying my name first, but you know what? We're going to go everything reverse. I'm Joe. I'm the game master for this Dungeon World campaign set in the world of Alamand, and we're going to go reverse around the table, starting with
Aleyna, or Brittany playing Aleyna. It doesn't really matter.
It was reverse.
It does matter.
Or
that is
Alyssa.
reverse. It's a good point.
Hey, this is Kurt. Oh, sorry,
Go
I didn't mean
ahead.
to speak
Go
over
for
you.
it.
Yes, just wait. You play the
Pal Barfy.
You are the Pal Barfy. This is Kurt. I play Truk, the human monk. He is a fighter with a little bit of druid in Dungeon World land. And Brit's sister, who I just met, told me that I remind her of a house. And I don't know how I
I
feel
like how
about
you
that.
keep saying a house.
yeah, not
no,
dog, yeah.
house.
No,
The
house,
doctor.
house. Oh,
you
sorry,
keep saying
doctor
a
house.
house, and I was
Brick
like, "Are
house.
you a brick house?" Mighty 36, 24, 36.
He's mighty whitey.
All right.
Especially with his rap skills. I'm Chris. I'll be playing Jer the cleric, the mysterious man from Aleyna's past.
the player of Calamity, also known as JJ.
Hota, hota.
Hota,
Hota.
Hota, hota.
As in his side is a curse word in Chinese.
Hota, hota.
Nice.
Yes.
For all our Chinese,
All the Chinese listeners.
All the Mandarin speakers.
This is the first time we've cursed for them.
So yeah, Calamity, profiting paladin,
The profiteer.
profiteering
paladin. Hi,
Yeah.
everyone. This is Mickie. Nope, this is Nessalus playing Mickie.
There you go.
I play the... I'm not even sure.
Tiefling,
warlock, wizard, elfin, awesomeness.
With a heart of gold.
Right. And for the listeners at home, as I say every third episode, we
Yeah.
tend to record in 3-episode chunks. And in case you can't tell, some of us drink more than others. And I think a good game for you on this one would be to figure out which of the two of the 5 players are not drinking right now.
That's a good point. Are there really two?
Well, I think so.
Everybody's drank.
Maybe.
Except for, like...
who has not partaken of alcohol.
He says, who haves not?
The sober guy!
Clue number 1. All right.
Wait,
so-
don't give it away.
If Truk tries to do a triple backflip onto some dude's head this session, you'll just know where that's coming
Outstanding.
So
All right,
Super Mario
That's not true.
Brothers.
You were sober
from.
last time.
Da-da-da-da-da.
All right, so we're going to jump back into this. We're actually going to get a quick recap of our last episode from our special guest, Chris.
We were on our way to the Temple of the Order of Light, and our trailblazer got us lost for a little bit. Went off the beaten path.
He did. He was distracted by a... Well, we won't say what he was distracted by.
Lena?
His little... Well, anyway.
Wyclef Gina.
So we made camp, and during the night, we were awoken by screams and a warning from my sanctuary spell that we were under attack by some ghosts.
Ghosts. He pronounced it correctly.
Space Ghost.
We took minor injury. I think Aleyna was the only one who really got injured.
She got her arm stuck in a
But we
ghost.
figured out a way to, get the ghost to leave us alone for a bit, and then started our way to the town of, was it Carthel?
Carthel.
Carthal.
Excellent recap.
Wow.
We should bring him back to do that.
Every episode.
Recap guy.
We'll have Chris back just to do the recap.
I'll phone his
Last week on Adventures from the Shed.
Well done. So we're going to take about a day and a half to get everything back on track. The caravan is back on the road. Unfortunately, Aleyna is still in shock. There's still some... she's just messed up. She's
Ghostly
able
shock.
to sleep, and while she's awake, she's kind of shivering and cold, and maybe a spirit or something got stuck in her. Who knows? We'll find out more depending on if you
Throw her under the
continue
fire.
to fail every time you interact with her.
I would like to set up my quest now.
Yes, let's do that, JJ. So we're going ahead with Calamity, the previously Vengeance Paladin, who is now a Profiteering Paladin of the Almighty Dollar. We're going to go ahead and dedicate yourself to a mission.
So discover the truth of the sacred weapon.
Okay. That's good.
That's your quest.
And then as your 2 boons that you would want to pick from that, you would pick...
An unwavering sense of direction toward it.
Okay.
Which would have really
That would have helped
last time.
yesterday.
Right.
Yeah.
And
you only need to pick 1, of course. Why would you not pick 2? But
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do just the invulnerability to enchantment.
okay, that's kind of useful. Okay. And then what I will tell you is...
And I was looking down to the vows or whatever.
Yeah.
Hospitality will be one that I just is so anathema to my character.
And you know, it's funny because that's what I was just going to pick for you.
Really?
Well, but the way I'm going to twist it, because hospitality is required, comfort those in need, no matter who they are, and I was going to change that in to fit your character as while you are on this mission, you cannot seek profit.
Interesting.
What?
Hey, Joe, if we can meta a little.
Yeah.
In Dungeon World, how do bonds work? Like, do we tell each other what our bonds are, or is that something that my character alone knows?
We've already established those bonds with each other. We've already told them.
It's
I thought we had.
Yes and no is the answer. So you can share the bond with somebody else, especially if it's something that the characters already have an interaction. So, for example, if your bond was, Aleyna has saved me from death, well, obviously she knows that.
Right. But like
so
mine,
that should be shared.
right. And I do remember talking about this, but I don't remember the context of it. You know, Calamite is greedy, but I will make him generous like me.
Yeah.
That's one of my bonds.
Yeah.
Which kind of sounds fairly similar to, at least in the short term, what you're talking about.
Well, this is different. That's me as his deity, as I am now playing the almighty dollar, if you will. And while he is benefiting from these boons, he is not allowed to make a profit.
Gotcha.
In this case, that's
But maybe
different
while he can't make a
from-
profit, he'll realize how amazing it is to be generous like Drew.
and that's up to Troop to do. So
Okay.
these
And
are
I
2
mean-
completely separate things. These are mutually exclusive.
I'm just curious about, as a new Dungeon World player, like in-game, how the concept of bonds works.
Yeah. It's one thing that we need to explore more, especially for character interaction, because they help in the game when it comes to aid or interfere, the specific move on the basic sheet, or the basic move sheet. But we don't use it that much.
Bonds come into play.
Bonds come into play there because they determine the plus that you get when you help
Right.
another character.
So when you help another character for which you have a bond.
I have to pay attention to that
She does.
with the stuff that I do.
Because she helps people regularly. And then the flip side to that, I'm sorry, not flip side, but in addition to that, anytime we do an end of session, which I'd like to do today, possibly after this episode, if you have fulfilled a bond, meaning if you have done what's in it or it is no longer relevant, you get an experience point.
So, like, I try to do the Nestless one on my sheet, where last episode when I talked about selling her fashion choices, Nestless's misguided behavior endangers their very soul.
Yeah.
Because so she's not doing anything to try to save money or
Okay.
Of course not. She's like 17.
exactly. I'm trying to teach you the ways of the world.
She's just
And slowing
17
everybody
years
down
Meanwhile,
is
I'm sworn to
endangering her.
protect you.
Yes.
According to my bonds.
alone, they say.
So the mechanism of the bonds is a way for characters to have a predetermined interaction and give you, as the player, a driver, something that you do to try and fulfill so you get experience.
I see. Okay.
That is the purpose of the bond itself.
Gotcha.
All right. We're going to pick up with our final camp before we reach the town tomorrow. So we'll be reaching Carthal tomorrow.
Okay.
We're going to have one final campsite before we reach it.
I've got a question for Aleyna.
Please do. So you're settled around the camp. What is Calamity cooking tonight?
It's actually a
Horse meat.
No, it's not going to be horse meat.
Come here. Minstrel meat.
Minstrel meat, yeah.
Whoa.
You were eating her anyway.
Mickie, you made it 9 minutes. Although it wasn't a curse.
I freaking love the fact that the dirtiest person at our table is a girl. I love it.
It's actually going to be lentil stew.
Lentils too. Okay.
It's meatless.
very
So
healthy.
you're running short on provisions. It may
Exactly.
be all you can find that's left. Okay.
I got a question for Aleyna.
Now I'm going to be thinking about oral sex with elves for the next hour.
You're welcome.
Da-da-da.
Jeez.
All right.
So at the last camp, last night, you mentioned calling you Alyssa.
I did.
And I asked you why, and you said,
You'll
just
find
do.
out.
So I'm curious as to why you want me to call you Alyssa.
You were going to do it anyways.
I know, but I still want to know why you want me to. Because now I'm going to call you Aleyna.
That may be a name that I went by in my travels.
So you pretended to be somebody else while you were out and about?
No, I just pretended not to be me.
Why is that? Like, where did you go? Why did you feel the need to not be yourself?
Because my town is under the impression that I remained dead.
Why does your town think you're dead?
Because I died.
Like, you actually died, or you pretended to die?
She's a man of few words.
So
I-
you, like, faked your death, or did you actually
No,
die?
I actually died.
Say, what?
See,
What?
You actually died?
Yes.
So what happened? What brought you back?
The Order of Light.
The
brought me
group
back.
that we're about to go save.
Well,
How did you die? I don't feel like I know this story.
No, nobody does.
is everyone gathered around the campfire?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right,
Heck
guys,
yeah.
it's apparently story time.
It's story time.
As a curiosity, would Truk have picked up the loot or the pipes maybe while What's-Her-Face is all, Wylena is all
Sneakily
petrified?
taking the bow. Oh.
I don't know if you would have.
He would not have the skill to.
No, but
Yes, but he would be fondling the pipes
Oh, there you
as
go.
they
Yeah,
sit
you
around
were
the fire.
fondling that pipe, weren't you?
Fingering its holes.
and Jarrett at any point could add anything to some of the background story as well too.
Yeah. And actually, Wylena would be sitting with us, but she would be sitting as like a shivering shell of her former self.
Yes, with the stereotypical wool blanket wrapped around her, just kind of shivering at the campfire.
Which is something that at some point I want to ask Jer if he can help with, because it seems like something that perhaps a cleric could assist with.
Okay, well let's approach that after we do this conversation.
Yes.
Story time?
Story time.
Story time.
Story time. So once upon a time, there was a little brat named Aleyna. The end.
And then
Holy crap. When I hit about age 18, I'm going to leave out the first 18 years of my life.
happens all the time in mythical books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I reached the age 18, I was really dying to get out of town, but
Literally.
Rim shot.
and the Order of Light came through and offered to train me as a paladin, and I jumped on the chance to go on adventure. I trained with them for 5 years and went on many missions with them, but on my first solo mission, I was killed by undead creatures. They sent word to my family and the town that I grew up in. By family, I mean mother. There was no other family there. In the town I grew up in, saying that I had died, but when they brought me back, I requested that they not update my town. I spent some time recovering with them and then started adventuring without fighting and just going through the towns. And I kept my own in the towns by working for the people I would stay with. So I went by different names so that I wouldn't be traced. That didn't work.
And she gave a quick look over to the cleric who managed to trace her somehow, Jer.
So they brought you back by like
Yeah,
a revival spell or something of that nature?
I guess.
How long were you dead?
She was like
I was-
not alive anymore, dead.
She's
Yeah, I
mostly
was dead, and then I was unconscious for a week. But then I spent several months in recovery.
And why did you not want your town updated or your mother told?
they had already heard of my death once, and if I were to die again.
So your whole
I just didn't
family,
know.
your mom thinks you're dead, your whole town thinks you're dead? Is Aleyna even
Well,
your real name?
Aleyna is my real name. How many people from my town know that I'm not dead?
Indicate him by name as you look at him.
Jer.
There you go. It is an audio podcast.
As far as I know, everyone thinks you're dead. Even I thought you were dead for the longest time.
How did you find out otherwise?
I have connections around the world.
Higher power.
Friends in low places.
Where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my
Um,
blues
So
away.
my question then to you is, why did you leave the order if they did
be
such
okay.
a grand thing as reviving you?
It's a good question.
Because I felt that the reason for my death was that I had no longer believed in what they believed in. So although I did leave on good terms, I didn't feel I was fit to be a member of this religious group without believing in their religion.
So you didn't feel worthy anymore
Somewhat.
of the divine guidance.
Mostly, it wasn't that I didn't feel worthy. I felt it didn't exist. And I didn't have a right to be there if I didn't worship the main purpose of their being together.
I can relate.
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah. Nessalus completely understands what it's like to feel betrayed by what you believe in.
That's a good
Because
point.
in her
Book.
mind,
Yeah.
the goddess that her mother worshipped let her die
Okay.
and had her basically taken advantage of by this demon who is Nessalus' father. So, like, at first, I could see Nessalus feeling a bit betrayed at the beginning by your story, but as you kind of share that,
Yeah.
I could see her understanding more and kind of seeing you in a new light, and kind of she gets why you've been the way you've been and why you've been a bit withdrawn and overprotective. Like she kind of
Can you be
she
both
thought
of
you were
those
cool
things?
before, huh?
Can you be both of those things?
What, overprotective of Nessalus
And withdrawn?
and withdrawn from the rest of the world? Totally.
Okay.
Why not? Withdrawn from everyone else, but overprotective of Nessalus?
The rest, yeah.
I could see that. So she sees you in a new light.
You guys
Okay.
gonna totally hug it out now?
Totally gonna hug
We
it out.
hug it out every time we talk.
That's like big sis
okay.
/ mom.
/ mom. She's called me mom before. It was great. While we're on the topic, Jer, how long have you known that I wasn't dead?
A few months.
Did you update my mother?
I would if she didn't pass away.
Oh, snap.
No.
The news of your death was too much for her. I guess she just couldn't hold on that long.
God damn it!
No.
Which
Oh,
God?
hug. I'm sorry. Oh no, Aleyna, your mama's gone.
Now can you relate, Nessie?
Yeah, totally.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, so now we're both orphans, and
I don't think you're technically an orphan if you're over 18.
I'm still an orphan in my heart.
That's nice, JJ.
Are you a pirate?
That's
He's
pretty
a
cool.
pirate.
He's a, Arr! I've been seeing through a spoon.
I think James is bored. You're such a dork, sweetheart.
I drilled a hole through it with my dice.
You're
But I
such
love
a
you
dork,
anyway.
sweetheart.
I drilled a hole
I
through it.
see.
So it's the next town is your hometown, Aleyna?
No.
Is that
No.
right?
Yeah, Carthal's the next one.
Carthal's
It's
not your hometown.
A town that I stayed in during my travels.
Yeah.
Well, it's the next spot. Is there any reason we shouldn't keep moving to there?
You kind of have to pass through.
We have to pass through,
continue.
and we need provisions.
Yeah.
Thanks
do.
a lot, quartermaster.
Yeah. Our horses are really tired from lugging all those clothes around, so
Yep.
we probably need to.
Don't try to turn
blame
this
it
back
my-
on her.
Don't blame this on my clothes.
It is your clothes.
You're the one who got us lost.
Touche.
So on this night, during this camp, the ghosts stay away from the camp. They don't approach
That's
even
right.
close.
Better stay away.
As you,
But the wolves really suck tonight.
yeah, the wolves attack.
I always needed a new pelt. Go ahead.
The next
Bring 'em
day,
on.
you travel on, and past midday, you can see off in the distance Carthol. What does the town look like, Brit?
It looks like a
Aleyna-
town.
Aleyna was there last. Like, how large is it? What do the buildings look like?
What is it that I said last time?
It was
It's like
about twice
Tijon.
the size of Tijon.
It was bigger than Tijon. You said that all of the buildings were made of
the buildings in Truk's vision
right,
were made
which we're not
mainly wooden
assuming
buildings.
is the same town.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It is the same one, but we weren't assuming that yet
Yeah.
until, well, right now.
Now that Truk can see it,
Uh-huh.
Does it look familiar, Truk?
Off in the distance. Yes.
all of the buildings are made of wood. There's no really overly large buildings. There's a couple of small shops, a tavern, probably tavern/inn, about half the size of the Sea
Sea spirits.
Spirits Tavern.
Yeah.
Inn thing.
It's actually very similar in size to the town where we went to the bakery. back in
Yeah,
the
That sounds
monastery.
right.
Vulil.
Yeah, it's a
Ooh.
very
That's
where we
similar
started,
town to
yeah.
that. The only difference this one has, for some reason, that into town has a huge wrought iron gate,
Yep.
which is inconsistent with the rest of the village, which
It
is
is.
wood and boring and a couple of streets. But for some reason, it has an elaborate black wrought iron gate as you come in on the road.
Okay.
with an intercom
Did you just
system.
make that up?
Yeah. Because you can.
Because you can.
Yeah. Okay.
That was a very good neutral tale.
Nice.
What time of day
different
is it?
system. What's that?
What time of day is it?
It is just past midday. The sun is past halfway in the sky.
So it's about 2:36 in the afternoon.
About 2:36 in the afternoon.
Is there any
Sounds
movement inside the town?
good. There are some people walking around in the town. In the center of town, as you approach, you see some smoke rising from the center of town. A large plume of black smoke and a bright fire set upon what looks like a very large pile of logs towards the center of Carthol.
That is not normal.
That is not normal.
Is it natural?
It's like a
I
huge
can't
funeral.
tell.
So how does Aleyna approach the town? This is a place you've been to before because you're all there. Yeah,
Yeah.
the 5 party members now plus
Some
4 minions, horses, a wagon, and a metal die.
You need to find like a general store. Get some
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We need provisions.
There's probably like a trading depot or something.
As you get close to the town, one of the people recognizes Aleyna
Alyssa.
and rushes out and says, "Alyssa, are you back to save us?" It's a young boy that you recognize from the tavern. He was the gopher at the tavern. They sent him on all of the tasks that needed to be done for the tavern. "Are you here to save us from the ghosts?"
Are you here to say that?
You breathe just like you used to.
Miss. Are you here to say that?
What's his name? Pip?
Can you spare a halfpenny?
What do you need saving from? What's
Ghosts.
happening?
The ghosts, they come every night.
When did this start?
A few weeks ago, we have lost so many. And he points to the fire in the middle of town, and it looks like they might be burning their dead.
No, for crying out. I knew it smelled a little funky here.
Bring out your
Funky.
dead.
Sorry, Calamity. I thought it
Time
was
to
you.
get
Burn
funky.
out your dead.
No, I'm taking this.
It's a
full
Carthol
armor is
barbecue.
Hard to keep clean on the road.
It smells like dead people all the time.
Psst.
What are we
Yeah.
looking at?
What's
So
that
do we
name
think
again?
that if we get to the
Now
the
there's something.
Monastery of the Light and deal with the artifact, that will solve this problem,
No,
or
this-
do we think there's something we can do here in
This is
particular?
separate.
I think
Separate?
I think they're separate as well.
There's something about a wizard, or does she only have information?
Powerful wizard from an ancient empire.
But we don't know if
Was
it's
the vessel that would need to be destroyed in order to get rid of the spirits.
But this is not.
What do we know about
Jared, this is not related. The artifact is not the vessel.
negative?
The pellet with the
It's something
poison
else.
is in
Something
the vessel
unrelated.
with the castle.
Chalice of the
The
palace.
chalice from the palace. That's the brew that is true.
True. Yes. Can we spout lore to see if we know anything about this wizard?
Anybody. So the way to do that is in the game, in game terms, dungeon world terms. What you would say is you're consulting your accumulated knowledge of something, and therefore you trigger the move of spout lore. So I know about blank. What is it I know? So
Might
go
be.
ahead.
Okay.
You think
Can I-
you know about this wizard?
Could
I-
I consult?
I'll even pray to my God to see if she can.
Hey,
figure
Can I
something
consult
out.
my
Divine
diary?
guidance.
You can.
So I consult my
Well,
diary
that's a
to
spout
see.
lore
That's a
based
4,
on
I
diary.
think. Let's see my intelligence.
A 4?
I
Yeah.
want to do community whispers.
All right, so that's going to be a failure.
I'm gonna-
The quick answer for that is no. You have no idea who this wizard is.
I don't know wizards.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You go next.
Go
I got
ahead.
something.
So
Okay.
Is his name Tim?
I know that there's a
Tim.
wizard,
Tim?
an uppity wizard,
An uppity ancient wizard.
an uppity
It's
ancient
a
wizard.
it's an a
Finally.
powerful wizard from an ancient empire.
So I'm going to write, Dear Diary.
Your diary.
Apparently, a wizard has been trying to wreak havoc.
It's knowledge.
Given
guy.
that you know quite
You
a
mean
bit
the
of
bard.
magic and
She
you've
said
taught
havoc.
me so much so far,
Yeah.
would you know who this wizard is
Yeah.
and some information that we could possibly use to defeat him or her?
Okay.
and
And
where
the
the
diary
sweet
says,
rain
"Get on with it already."
Get on with it already, woman! This is intelligence?
It is intelligence. The spout lore is intelligence.
I see a 9
You're
on
wicked-
the dice.
you're wicked
plus
smart.
3, I am wicked smart.
Okay, so that 9 plus 3 turns into a 12.
Most places.
in game world. And you know what wow. I want to give you this. Let's see if I can word it right. The wizard is an enemy of your true father.
Wait, the wizard is an enemy of my true father?
Yes.
So the enemy of the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Not always.
Maybe
For a
You're
time
just
being.
Darth Vader.
you just lost your right hand.
Right? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. I don't really
could
care
be.
for my father. My father sent me to try
Yeah.
to get me killed.
Oh, it's not. The diary doesn't respond. I mean, think tone, because normally in text you don't get tone, but you do with your diary, right?
Yes.
You're able to relate this stuff. The tone is just flat, monotone. Just
I am just giving
the
you
wizard
knowledge.
is
It
an
means
enemy
nothing
of
to
your
me.
father,
The wizard is an enemy of my father.
your true father,
Of
yes.
my true father.
Your
Yeah.
father's the demon who was attacking us in the grove, right?
Correct.
Well, he sent the demons.
he
that
sent
attacked
the
us in
demons.
grove.
He
My
did.
father sent
We
the
never
demons.
actually
I
met
gotta
her
keep
father.
all my demons straight. People
Yes,
at home,
so many
there's a
demons.
shit ton of demons and ghosts rolling around.
It's like a fucking
Yes.
supernatural episode.
Oh my god!
I still haven't seen one.
But your dad is on the bad side of the ledger right now, as far as we know.
As far as we know, because he tried to have me
Can I
killed.
see
he hasn't
Holy
done
Spirit?
anything good.
Yeah, but she said true father, so is there a difference?
That is her true father.
Okay.
She didn't know who her father was. She has since learned. That's why I used the word true. In this
I
case.
actually have experience with ancient
Hey,
artifacts.
Do you?
I do.
How so? Well, we'll find out by the die roll. But yeah,
My sword
Someone do
is
the
one,
spoon?
yeah.
and I had to do a lot of research in order to unearth its secrets.
Okay.
And I'm a little bit aware of how these things these things tend to have like magical attenuations.
Attenuations. Only fucking James.
Well, let's
would
find
bust
out.
With magical attenuations.
We'll find
everyone-
out based on those dice.
Is everyone still knowledging?
Everyone's still knowledgeable.
JJ is currently spouting some lore.
My God,
For
Pulling
Wow.
shit out
Wow.
of his ass.
That's a 9.
a 9. Okay.
I hope he lubed
Um,
first.
I will say
better
the
with
way this plays out is the sword on your back.
Close blue. There's orcs.
It glows blue. There's orcs. It warms. It is actually becoming warm.
Okay.
May I do communion of whispers?
Whispers.
The answer is yes. I'm just trying to think. You're actually in a spot of civilization now, and let's see how that plays out.
Everyone
It
whispers.
says when I spend time in a place,
Yeah.
I can make note of its resident spirits and call in
Yep.
spirits of the land.
I'm here. I'm hearing you, bro.
Where
I
was
thought you said I'm here. I was like, are you the spirits of the land?
That's me, Doug.
Yes!
Did you
He leveled
fail
Three on the
again?
dice plus 1 is a 4.
All right, so mark and experience.
Have you
Holy
leveled?
mother.
Of
And
Frigga.
And Truk spends some
Frigga is
time
actually an
with his
Irish
staff
goddess.
stuck in the ground,
I love how we.
murmuring.
I hope I have something good when I level up, because I literally... Have I succeeded on a roll today?
I don't think so.
Do I
Not
think
one
that's
that
the middle
counted.
Level?
I don't think so.
I think I got a murky. I got a murky vision. I did.
Yeah,
I
that
got
was
you
one.
did. You
Yeah.
did.
You did get a 7.
Yeah, I got a
Yeah.
7.
That's true. All right.
It was a
Barely.
barely pass. It was a
Oh.
7.
Aleyna, were you going to, other than putting food in your mouth, were you going to say something?
Oh,
About-
if they're still knowledging, I'm gonna wait.
Let's say they're done for now,
Okay.
and you were going to.
I'm going to address Pip, which is his name now.
Pip, okay. The boy Pip.
Pip, where is Hevid? Hevid.
Hevid is in his forge.
Oh, thank God.
You can find him. The fires are out. He has not been able to forge for days with the constant attacks. But you can find him at his forge.
Okay. Let's go there.
Let's go there. Let's go there.
Onward we go.
As you approach the blacksmith's forge, the sword grows warmer.
Interesting.
Yeah. Spoon eye. You give me the spoon eye. That's what you're doing. As you approach, Hevid steps out. Big, barrel-chested, 7-foot-tall human man. Been working the bellows for most of his life.
He's a brick house.
Yes.
36, 24, 36. Only if she's 5'3". Go ahead.
He says, Alyssa, good of you to come back. Are you here to work the forge again?
Well, we were just passing through, but it sounds like you've got some trouble.
Yes, we have many troubles here.
Many
And
troubles.
while he's greeting you, he's looking around the party, and his eyes keep glancing towards Calamity.
Really?
Yes,
He's got an
but
eye
he's
on
still
you.
addressing Aleyna.
Melissa.
How is what's the look like?
Like he's looking over your shoulder.
So not looking at me, just looking at my property.
Yeah, perhaps. So, who have you brought here with you, Alyssa? Alyssa. What's your real name, girl? And yes, he only addresses her as Alyssa.
Well, some of these are my longtime companions, and the... Which ones aren't? Are you...
The old man.
Well, he's a long-time companion.
He is.
What are the
longer.
minions?
Oh, they would be hanging out with the wagon
Yeah.
and stuff.
Oh,
Don't-
okay.
Don't
Yeah.
bother with them. They're only around as fodder.
And those are some hirees.
Hirees. Yeah, you might not even
Hirelings.
see them.
Hirelings.
You might not even see them from where you are. But yeah, who is it you have brought here? Can you introduce me to your friends?
Well, this one's Nessie.
Sup.
Sup? You must be a teenager, young girl.
Sup, bitches.
She is a great magician, warlock,
I'm a wizard.
And stuff.
Witch.
Magus.
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 Yeah. She does the magics.
This is our great fighter paladin of dudeliness,
Of Judeliness.
Calamity.
Indeed.
Sup.
Sup? Everyone says sup.
This one's a monk
He says
slash druid.
His slash druid. He's got a little druid in him.
I hope he consented to that.
And who is the
You know,
old-
there's more to me than just being a monk and a druid. I mean,
And he's really, really pretty.
I have feelings.
So
Yes.
pretty.
And he has feelings.
well, at least two.
It's true.
And he has a stick.
Druid and a stick.
A really nice shaft.
And who else?
And this is Jer from my hometown, which we've never talked about ever.
Interesting. So where do you come from? You never talked about it while you were here. Ever.
Melgum, outside of Noach.
I know Malcolm. It's a fine place, a small place, but a fine place.
A very small place, smaller than here even.
Indeed. So it is Calamity.
Yes.
Calamity. That is a fine sword you wield, or you
It is.
carry. Can I see it? It is familiar to me.
Familiar how?
I think it comes from this forge.
I don't see how that could possibly be true. Unless your forge is over 4,000 years old.
Might I see the blade, good sir?
I suppose.
So you hand it over.
I do.
Just like that?
Yeah. I don't think he's going to be able to take it from all of us.
He examines it and immediately goes to the very base of the hilt. I don't know if anyone knows the technical name of that. The little ball at the end or the end of the actual
Pommel.
Okay. He goes straight to the
Everyone
pommel.
at the table says.
Yeah, everyone else knows it. I don't, right?
No nerds here.
And he says, yes, indeed, this blade is forged in this very forge itself. It is made, I didn't think the legends were true, but apparently it is. You see here, and he shows you the pommel, as I've just learned. I'm so wicked smart now. Look here, you may have mistaken this for scratches many moons ago, but this is H1. It is the first in a line of 3 blades made by, well, let us just say, I am Hevid the 20th. These are made by Hevid many generations before myself. This forge has been in existence for many, many years.
Interesting.
This is the first sword, which was entrusted to the mighty empire of Amarash. Does that ring a bell to you?
It does. That empire has recently been resurrected.
There were 2 other swords, according to legend, that were made in this very forge itself. The second was given to the monks of Wadozation, and the third was kept safe by the purity of the Order of Light.
Dun, dun, dun.
These 3 swords were forged many years ago by what would be, I think, my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, if legends hold true. And they are used in the saving of the world. There's something about prophecy. You know how that works.
Yeah, it's weird.
Do you have any more information about the...
I didn't know that these actually existed. It was a legend in the family.
Okay. What kind of power do they wield, do you know? Anything? Any stories about them?
Individually, each of the blades holds... they are a key to certain things, but together they're supposed to be able, well, to save the world. Prophecy and all that. So Kurt
True.
is
Have I got
coming
some
back in the
news
room.
for you?
Guess what?
Come sit with
buddy?
me. It's story time.
It's story time. I was just mentioning...
Story of the week. It's the
Yeah.
story of the week.
You want to go ahead?
Yes. So what we've just learned is that the amazing sword that our good friend Calamity has was originally forged in this forge that I stayed at for several months some years ago.
How did it get to Calamity's hands?
Because several thousand years ago, it was 4,000 years ago?
It was a while ago.
It was entrusted to
The mighty
The-
empire of Amarash.
that, which, as we have heard from Calamity, is the recently resurrected empire that he is with.
JJ, do you
There-
want to describe the empire a little
Yes.
bit while we mention it?
Yeah, it's in the middle of the desert, and it's a technological marvel. I mean, they have culverins or aqueducts shipping water over hundreds of miles of barren wasteland to go in. So it's a water city in the middle of a desert, and it is. The reason it's so prosperous is because it is the halfway point in the desert. It's how far a merchant would be able to take a wagon, a team of horses, halfway to the Amarash, and then further on into the rest. It's cut time down for trade remarkably. So there's a reason it's so successful. It fell to ruin after my great-grandfather passed. He was interned in a tomb, and he was recently resurrected by my blood, which I didn't know that would happen. And the key to that was this sword.
So that's one of the swords.
All right. In addition to that, there were 2 other great swords created. Was it great weapons or great swords?
Swords.
Great swords created for the purpose of saving the world, each with a different purpose, with different magical properties, I guess.
One
Well,
was-
I
they were
suspect I know where
they
this
were
is
given
going.
to 3 places.
Would one have been the Wado Zeishan Monastery?
Indeed.
Actually, no.
And the third was given to be protected by the Order of Light.
Is this the sword that I used that I was not allowed to touch?
Who knows?
My sensei.
We don't know.
I'm going to say yes.
Possibly.
But
Seems
it's
very likely.
yeah.
And is this the relic that we're going to go try to save?
Who knows?
It-
Maybe.
I can totally go back there and get that sword and hook up with Michaela because I just blew it there that first time.
Blew it.
Totally blew it. I was doing the monk thing. I
You are
wasn't
so-
focused.
You are
He's
so
a
done with
druid
Mylena,
now.
aren't you?
He can be more natural.
So, Hevid goes and grabs a book, an old book, and he
Blow some
flips
dust
through-
off.
Yeah, he blows the dust off, flips through a couple of pages. Little bits of the pages fly off as he's flipping through. It's old and dry, being near the heat of the forge all the time. And he says, "Are you aware of the name of your sword, sir?
I am not.
Your sword is called the Dusk's Demise.
Interesting.
And the sword held by the serenity of the monks of Wado Zeishan is called the Day of Reckoning. And the third, protected by the purity of the Order of the Light, is called Dawn Arise." They were all forged here according to this
Did someone
old
write that down?
article.
The Day of Reckoning, Dawn Arise, and
Dusk's
Dusk's
Demise.
I bet you Stephanie Myers is wishing she'd renamed her books now. No,
I
she's
don't
not.
know what that means.
So the one that we're
The one Calamity is currently holding.
is
Dusk's Demise.
Yes.
Dusk Demise,
Dusk's
Dusk's
Demise.
Day of Reckoning.
Day of Reckoning, and
And Dawn Arise.
Dawn Arise.
Right.
Arise!
And these are all said in this book. He reads through a few passages, and the gist of it is once upon a time in a land right here, there was a man who came through and asked Hevid III to create weapons. And these weapons were imbued with magical properties, which will allow them, at one point when the prophecy comes through and the 4 pillars of justice help destroy the evil from the land will be cleansed and everything will be balanced in the world again. And JJ put his hands up in victory. He's done. Mickey's muted. So what is your next step then? So Pip is still there. He says, but what about the ghosts tonight? They'll be back. It's only an hour or 2 away. What do we do?
Do the ghosts enter the houses?
Heaven tells you, no, they do not enter the homes. They are only allowed to wander free on the street.
So why can't everybody just stay
Then
indoors?
just stay in.
We stay indoors at night, but and we only go out during the day. But we're afraid for our lives. We lose somebody almost every day.
Block
How?
off the streets with
People
fire.
are too stupid to stay inside. You know how this works.
Curfew. People like to party.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave.
Anyone who goes out at night should have a torch.
That's a good idea. Well done.
I'm going to leave the 3 henchmen
Okay.
to become the city guard, so to speak,
Huh.
and make sure to enforce curfew.
Okay. That's a smart idea.
Can I be like, all right, my clothes have special magical powers, and if you wear them,
But
they'll
we
be
don't-
protected.
We don't want people to not be able to go out at night for the rest of their lives.
We are
It's just-
going.
just
We're
until
gonna
we
take
solve the
care of
problem.
it.
We can't save them today. These are their
These are
In the
temporary
meantime-
solutions.
yeah.
Temporary solutions. We're gonna go take care of the permanent problem.
I mean, we
Gotcha.
don't have
That
access to
solution
duct tape
happened
just
while I
yet.
We
was
don't
in the
really
back.
know where that permanent problem is, though.
That's a darn good point. That's a darn good point.
Can I ask my god for guidance to see if
You sure can.
the location of this wizard possibly?
Did you say godness or guidance? Because it sounded like
Guidance
godness.
for my goddess.
Okay.
Goddessy guidance.
B,
Lasagna.
C.
Lasagna.
So I guess I don't have to roll for that.
I
It's
wish
just
I had a
move.
goddess. so we
There's
could
no
do
roll
guidance.
for guidance.
Yeah, it's just see if she has
all
any
right,
place.
let's say. What is it you're going to ask?
If my goddess knows the location of this wizard, the vessel of the, that created these evil spirits.
The noodly appendage touches you, and you feel the dryness of the desert.
He feels what?
So,
What is
just an assumption.
What's the name of the place he comes from?
Amarash.
Amarash.
The Empire of Amarash.
I'll
And yes, that's relevant that he did just say the desert. Yeah.
I'll ask if it's coming
Yeah.
from if this wizard is located in the Empire of Amarash.
You just need to wait until JJ
Okay.
comes back. You will not get a clear answer like that from the noodly appendage.
Gotcha.
However, ramen.
Yeah.
What can I do to help Aleyna not be a shell of her former self?
Roll again. I'll tell you, if you're going to try and help her,
Oh, a 4 on the dice. plus
Seriously?
whatever modifier you want.
I guess it
Hold on.
doesn't matter. You don't
Hold on.
have a +3
Give me
anywhere,
this.
do you?
I do on Dex, I
Level are
think.
you?
A Dex isn't going to do it.
Four.
Unless, no.
Actually, I don't even.
8,
Actually, I don't even have it there.
He's quick with his fingers.
He is.
9. You need 2 more and you can level.
I could
go.
definitely figure this out.
I don't even know what to say about today. I've rolled
You
4.
did awesome. Well, make sure you mark an
3,
experience.
3, 2, 4, 7.
Unfortunately,
Chip.
what that means is your best efforts do not wake her out of her shocked state.
Can I try?
I was going to say, can I try?
Oh yeah, anybody can try.
Can I try to smack some sense?
Yeah,
into her?
I figure the next person, the person that who
like
is
airplane.
not Truk that tries and fails, they'll just kill her.
Do it.
Let's just see how it works.
Doing it.
Do it. So I'm going to use.
Holy
charisma.
shit!
Are you serious? You rolled 2 1s.
Aleyna's dead.
We've killed Aleyna.
I said that
The shock was
facetiously.
too
She is
much.
not dead.
Just a catatonic state.
Somebody say some final words
However-
for Aleyna.
However, when you're trying to console her, for a moment your illusion drops and she sees you for who you really are, and her eyes go wide, and she is just even like, if it could get any worse, she shivers just a bit more.
What would I roll to help this poor child?
For me, if you're trying to be soothing to her, it's all charisma. I can't think. I mean, unless you can describe it any other way, you're trying to be a calming presence for her. That's all I can think of.
I kind of want to do.
8.
I don't want to do.
I tried dexterity, but it didn't work.
I want to do the I hand the log. Get over it.
Get over it, punk.
Get over it.
So describe to me how you're trying to help her.
Trying to explain that we were able to overcome the ghosts for a night. We will eventually be able to help the ghosts lay to rest. And that she needs to overcome her fear of this if she wishes to continue to help us.
So over some time, she starts to snap out of it, but she appears to be. She doesn't talk, but her gaze. Anytime she sees Nessalus, she like shrinks back in fear.
That's right, bitch. You better run.
Gotta
But
recognize.
for everything else, she seems to be coming out of it. She's like coming back out of her shell a little bit. So she might not be ready to sing gloriously and harmoniously. However, she is no longer in a fugue state.
She is no longer catatonic.
That too. What are your next steps? The evening is approaching.
I want to ask Calamity actually.
Yeah, go
if he
for it.
knows if is there a wizard at court in Amarash?
There is. My emperor is a powerful, powerful wizard, and I do believe we sent Nicholas Saint.
Because
Saint.
Sante.
Nico Saint.
Or Saint.
Yeah, we sent him down there
Not
too.
Taint.
Maybe my great grandfather was able to recover his mind.
Is your great grandfather the wizard?
He is.
Powerful wizard?
He is. He is the.
Uh-oh.
I honestly don't know how he came back alive. So that long story short, I was contracted to. I did mercenary work before I became a trader, and she contracted me to take her to this location in the desert. I did, and it turned out to be a tomb. And when my sword came within range of the tomb, it opened. And she betrayed me, stabbed me, and my blood intermingled with whatever magic was there, and it resurrected my great-grandfather.
Who's this person that stabbed you?
She has since been taken care of. She
Castle.
was the Medusa.
Well, she's been taken care of a few times now.
True.
We know nothing.
So yeah, she's been taken care of, at least as far as we know.
So she's the one that was trying to kill us, the Medusa. that was
Castle.
trying-
Yeah, she was after me.
So what's our next step? Where do we go from here?
It's possible these spirits are connected to your grandfather. The resurrection of your grandfather.
That'd be an interesting thought. That kingdom is many leagues and months of travel from here. I don't see how the distance would.
Now, it
connect
doesn't
them.
necessarily have to be bad, though.
I could try to send a carrier pigeon to my grandfather, see what he
Yeah.
says.
I wouldn't let him know.
The thing is, we all have different knowledges. Like, I have a piece of this, he has a piece of this.
Yeah.
It's now connecting them, yeah.
What I know is that what brought back the ghost was a powerful wizard from an ancient empire. Out of character, what he knows is that this wizard from an ancient empire has something to do with the desert.
And
And
we
you
also
have
know
just
there's
told
an
us that there's a-
artifact from his that's keeping them here. If we destroy the artifact, it's keeping them here.
That's
They can-
conjecture. We don't know that for certain.
No, it was told.
You're talking about the three swords?
Huh?
The three swords?
No, the communion with spirits you had. You said there was a artifact keeping
Yes.
the ghosts on this plane. If they were destroyed, they'd be able to rest again.
No, that was
No,
the
it
wizard.
was a vessel.
A vessel.
The vessel is the powerful wizard.
Yes.
So the powerful wizard is keeping the ghosts on this plane.
And it could just be his resurrection that brought everyone else back.
Yes.
So we don't know if it's the resurrection of your grandfather or some other wizard.
Did I miss anything good?
All kinds of stuff, man.
Cool.
I got a little bit into my backstory.
Okay.
I want to attempt to commune with my great grandfather.
Huh. Interesting.
Via carrier pigeon, because
How do
that's
you
how
do
they do
that?
that.
He taught me a symbol to draw into the ground whenever I wanted to communicate directly with him.
Let's just treat it as a spout lore.
Okay.
Let's do that because it sounds like you're drawing on accumulated knowledge, some
Yeah.
knowledge that you have. Yeah. Let's
So
do
I want
that.
to.
So he's not trying to contact his grandfather?
He is,
I am.
but based on something he knows.
This is basically a
this
spell
rune
that he's
he-
never used.
If he doesn't write the rune correctly, it's not going to work. That's the way I'm going to look at it. Because there is no paladin move for this. JJ's marking an experience. I see that. So that means a failure.
That does.
So this communication did not happen. As
What do you
anticipated.
have? I mean, I see 6 on the dice.
+0.
Oh.
Now, I was out of the room for a couple of minutes, and what I'd like to know is, did you guys have a plan for today, or were we really just ready to move on to the temple?
The
I
plan
think
was
we're
for
ready
him
to move on to the
commune.
temple. Like I said, just lead the henchmen to establish curfew, enforce curfew.
Revisions. Provisions?
Provision.
Provisions.
Yeah, you are able to gather some things, but the town itself is kind of scarce on provisions. You're able to gather enough that you can make it. You grab your sweet and spicy Cajun trail mix.
Oh, yeah.
To last you through the next couple of weeks to get you to the temple. You'll be out of provisions essentially as you reach there. but we are going to be able to reach the temple itself.
Yeah, let's make sure the townsfolk have the security protocols that, with the fire and torches and all that jazz.
Okay, so you probably can leave them some kerosene or something,
Yeah.
maybe? Something to help them keep fires going for as long as they can. You guys know the tactic now of keeping fires going at the camp to keep the ghosts away at night, which means you're able to take care of that over the next few weeks in order to reach the temple itself. Excuse me. So over the next couple of weeks, traveling, you have the irregular minor conversations on the road while you're galloping along with the horses and the loudness of the carts, and JJ has two halves of coconut and banging them together.
He just got the weirdest look from Kurt.
Well, Kurt's got the weirdest look. He knows how to give it too. Yeah. We have the rest of the trip relatively uneventful. As you get closer, during the night, several people, while you're on watch, you hear the sounds of slithering snakes nearby, but nothing ever
Not again.
Yes. Nothing ever approaches the camp. As you get closer to the temple, you also have the sounds of
Now, would you say
the
that these
infernal.
are
What's
big
that?
snakes, like Naga, maybe? Or
Yeah, like that.
do they sound like bone snakes?
Yeah, like
the
that
last
too.
time.
Like that too. Yeah. Both.
they
Does it sound like maybe we're going to be meeting Medusa 4.0?
They sound familiar.
Nothing approaches the camp, so you stay safe over
And
the
then we
next
smell
couple
the
of weeks.
the smell of fire and brimstone.
Yes, there's a smell of fire and brimstone. The infernal mutterings of broken microphones as Kurt drops them. The infernal mutterings of demons and devils as you approach as well. On the last night before you reach the temple itself, the camp that you are in is surrounded by both demons and serpents, nagas, actually fighting outside of the camp, maybe a quarter mile away. I say surrounded, meaning they're all around, but not really close. Like you guys aren't in the battles. But these demon and naga are fighting each other. And off in the distance, you see the temple itself. And Brit, what does the temple look like?
It is a fortress type, almost castle, with lots of
So a keep.
what?
A fortress
There's a
type,
word for
almost
that?
castle. Yeah.
What the
Between fortress and castle? Yeah, keep.
It's a key.
Yeah.
Well, it's a fortress type,
It's a
almost
temple.
castle.
It's
Also-
not on the Borderlands, so. Oh, da, da, da.
Good job.
I don't
Sorry.
understand.
It was one of the original D&D
On the first module.
module B2 in the
Keep on the
beginner
Borderlands.
box. Keep on the Borderlands.
Crazy mad hermit.
No nerds here.
Old school. You weren't born when that came out. It was like 1983
That's a good point.
or something, maybe.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're a group of friends in our
It's-
20s, 30s, and 40s.
Yep. I'm twice as old as Brit, in case you're listening at home and wondering.
Shh. Don't say that out loud.
No, you're
It
not.
ruins things.
Almost.
Yeah, almost.
What year were you born?
74.
Yeah. Not quite, but close.
But as an aside, so let's finish
Yeah.
this up, and then we can
So
talk
anyway.
offline about how old
How
I
old you
am
are.
and how many original Dungeons and Dragons adventures I remember.
So it's like a keep. And what's it made out of?
Stone.
Mainly
cheese.
stone. What is it
Stone bricks.
Did you say cheese?
made
Like
of?
it's-
Cheese. It's like the moon. So there are.
But just to be clear, this is the temple where the artifact is. This where the Order of the Light is?
Yes.
Or was before it
Was.
was decimated, reduced by 90%.
Reduced by 99.9% in this case.
Well, no, there was only 10 people, so they were decimated.
They were routed.
The you can actually see lightning bolts and stuff shooting around the rock of the temple itself in the night sky.
What?
Yes.
Dude,
It's grilled cheese.
it might be the Princes of Elemental Evil.
Could be.
We need to find a hidden way in.
Oh, wait.
Do you know a way?
I might know. a way. I was here for lots of years.
Well, let's find out.
Let's go.
Roll it, baby, roll
Let's
it.
go, everybody.
What do I even roll
If
for
you
that?
know something, it's spouting lore.
Oh.
I hope you remember.
Whatever you do, you roll.
I
two
don't
D6s.
know. Can I discern
It's
reality?
been a while, and I might have been dead during
If you
that.
take some time to look around and figure out what's going on, that's discerning.
There's always the poop shoot.
But let us go with
Yes,
the spout
there is
lore
always
first
the
with the person who's been here before.
I see 5.
And see the total.
What do I
is
add to
intelligence?
Lore? Oh, come on, really?
Yes, really.
So a 5.
I want to succeed.
Mark.
Guys, that is my
Experience.
first ever failure since we switched to Dungeon
Well,
World.
then mark that experience.
I'm going to roll mine.
As it turns
go
out, I
ahead.
might have been dead the last time I was here.
I see 7.
What is discern? The modifier?
Intelligence.
Wisdom.
Oh, wisdom.
Wisdom for discern reality.
So I get 7 plus 1 is 8.
8.
Woohoo!
Well, on the discern realities, you get to ask me one of the questions
I
that
do.
is listed there.
I do indeed, and that is on the basic moves list for those
Yes,
of you
it
who are
is.
playing at home.
We have 2 pieces of paper
There
to
are
look at.
6
We can't
questions.
figure it out.
Well, I have 4.
6 questions one may ask, but when you get an 8, you only get to ask 1. So I am going to ask, what here is useful or valuable to me?
What
Me.
here is useful? Yeah, Aleyna.
Well, we
then-
proved that she's not.
Well, yeah,
She's useful at least. It looks like the majority of the fighting and the spell slinging is going around inside the keep itself. So it looks like you could approach it probably unhindered.
Can we tell how to get in?
Well, you might have someone who knows how to get in.
Can I ask my diary?
You might be able to ask your diary.
or you could ask
Aleyna
Aleyna.
knows where the front door is, that's for sure.
Aleyna, where's the front door?
Over there.
And she points at the front door.
Yeah. I'd rather not go through the front door. Though.
Is there a back door?
Kurt's the first one to laugh.
He's a back door man.
Is there a back door?
There's...
Yes is the answer. And
Yes.
we'll find out if you know where it is in the next episode. We're going to wrap this one up on the approach to the temple. And everybody's going to say...
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for listening.
Say it, Aleyna.
Jersey boys.
Penis!
The blacksmith tells them of 3 swords forged many years ago. Prophecy and fate begin to play a role as Aleyna, the last living member of the Order of Light, is tasked with retrieving a sword of legend from the temple. Thanks for joining us. The preceding podcast was brought to you by One Joe Young. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com.